If you're seeing me, it's because it's time for you to stand up. You'll know that this is for you because you've been hitting almost this kind of roadblock. This is a repeating cycle where you feel like you're at this point of a breakthrough, but you just can't get through to the other side. This could particularly have to do with something in your career or something regarding your material realm, something that allows you to stand on your own 2 feet, stand strongly within your power, and be completely under your own power, not dependent on other people, not needing others to support you. You are like self-sustaining and able to support yourself. So this sounds like you. This is definitely for you. What I was picking up on before this reading was a wound of almost like a visibility wound. I'm hearing like spotlight wound, this kind of thing, where you weren't allowed to shine. Like you weren't allowed to shine brighter than others. For a lot of you, this had to do with like the adults in your life. Interesting, yeah, with this life map card here in reverse, like the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You could have felt like you were just born under, I'm hearing like bad luck or like an unlucky sign or something like this, or like that the stars weren't aligned in your favor when you were born, this kind of thing. Is that you were born into like a circumstance that was designed to keep you down, to hold you down, that kind of thing. So you could have had people around you, again, particularly adults. This could be caregivers, this could be parents, this could be authority figures that were just threatened by the way that you naturally shine and didn't want you to like emit that kind of glow whatsoever. And they didn't want you outshining them, that kind of thing. So, but what's interesting about this is that what makes this so like gross or challenging is that these people weren't even really trying that hard to shine to begin with. They just didn't want you glowing like brighter than them, as they actively weren't like doing anything to help themselves or help themselves out of their situation. So I don't know, I'm picking up on like depression. So you could have had like people in your energy that were depressed or that kind of thing. This could be like a repeating pattern. And you may notice this, that every time you hit a point of a breakthrough with this Ace of Trees here, is that you may descend into a bit of a depression. It's like 222 on my timer. Every time you hit this point where you're like, oh, I'm gonna make this, I'm going to be like, you're going to be where you want to be, it's like something drags you back. And it's that, especially with this past lives card here in reverse, it's something that, a cycle that you're being asked to close from an older version of you, from things that you have outgrown. This is also something I'm hearing like left behind. So this is something that you could have left behind, but it still lives in your mind. So it's like you could have physically left this situation, but this situation is still replaying in your head, which is why you keep manifesting this same outcome. So there is a fear, yeah, especially with this shapeshifter, of you becoming exactly who you know within your inner being, within your soul, that you're meant to be, because it would be threatening to others. So this is also like you were threatening to people when you were at your worst. So it scares you to do anything of like taking care of yourself or that kind of thing, because if you were a threat at your worst, it's like you can't even imagine the level of threat that you will pose when you're actually like shining, when you're being you, when you shift into this bright, brand new version of you. This is also a card of divine inspiration. It's a very youthful card as well. So again, this is like tapping into this inner child. I was also getting the image of you becoming the person that you would have needed to see when you were a little kid. Is like who would have inspired you to glow anyway, despite your circumstances, is like becoming that person. And then to also look towards your future self and ask them, like, what do I need to embody now? What role model energy do I need to embody now to help me break through to this other side? With this fighter in reverse, this is saying that the fight is very much in your own head at this point, that you have removed any external threats. So this is just like a nervous system regulation kind of thing, and pushing through like regardless. So there is a need for a bit of a self-care regimen when you feel yourself slipping. You may get certain sensations in your body when you're about to experience a breakthrough, and you may notice that this is when you backslide a little bit. So there needs to be, now that this pattern has been recognized, is that there is something that you need to put into place to help you get to this next level, to help you manage yourself when these feelings come up, is that there is this like element of nervous system regulation. I don't know, I'm hearing like take a shower. So some of you could be very connected to water, or like water spirits, water energy, that kind of thing. That could be restorative for you. I'm also hearing to drink more water. So you could, again, like neglect yourself in certain ways when you feel that you're about to break through in a way that will allow you to shine. Again, based on this old conditioning where it's like any kind of you like feeling good about yourself or glowing in any kind of way presented a threat. So you feel like if you stop doing that, like the threat goes away, but it is impacting your life. Yeah, especially with this 10 of embers here. This is saying that you have a big manifestation that is dropping in, but the universe needs you to be strong enough so that you can hold it. So every time you back down, when this breakthrough energy comes in, you're telling the universe that like, I'm not ready. While at the same time beating yourself up for not having what it is that you've been trying to manifest. So if you've been feeling like a manifestation is long overdue, this is a sign for you. You could also be seeing a lot of numbers around change and endings, so like 555 or 999. I've seen 9 4 times in a row, so that's a big, it's just 555 on my timer. So it's confirmation. So you are going through some kind of endings and changes. These are all for the best, even if it doesn't necessarily feel that way. You are preparing to manifest something pretty significant, but you need to be strong enough to hold it. So put in these practices so that you can hold exactly what it is that you've been asking for and that you were meant to have in your life. This is something that you were meant to have. A lot of people can see you, especially when you're young, when you're a child. They can see you usually before you can see you, even if you intrinsically know like what or who you are. They can see you before you see you, and if you didn't have supportive people around you, they wanted to sort of like neutralize the threat that they saw in you before you ever came into your power, and you are now accessing this power. So allow it to come through, and do this through regulating your nervous system and pushing through and embodying the person that you know you are. So if this resonates with you, let me know. All of my services are linked in my bio. So if you want a little more information either on this topic or something else, you can book a reading with me in my bio. Make sure you grab my How to Read Tarot Intuitively guide. It just dropped and I'm really excited about it. And make sure you grab a raffle ticket. Thanks.